All right, vlog number 2, doing this again. So, had some comments about speaking a bit about fatherhood, and that resonates greatly with me as I just had my second son 2 months ago, and having my first son, Hugo Louis, almost 3 years ago, September, changed everything for me. Um, Suddenly, there was no time for me. There was no dad time. And there was way less partner time, and there was concerns, and there was a lot of interactions with the emotions of having a young child crying in your arms, and maybe crying at night, maybe getting very little sleep. That might put you into an agitation mode towards your partner, so that communication is a stressor as well. And how would you handle all those things? So for me personally, I have a practice of meditation. So if a situation becomes too much and you're caught up in emotion, and emotion is energy in motion, so this emotion will disappear if you just give it some time to wear away. So one thing could be to just move your body differently. If you're in a state where you're talking with your spouse and you're caught up in this communication, really having different difficulty getting into each other's hearts, then it could be an amazing thing to just take a breath. Just take 6 breaths, maybe 10 slow breaths. It can be 4 seconds in or 4 heartbeats in. It can hold the breath for 7 heartbeats in, and release the breath for 8 seconds. And you continue this cycle 6 to 10 times, and that'll change your whole biochemistry. It'll change your mood, your mind very powerfully. And this is a simple technique when things get too much in fatherhood. Another thing is the whole emotional thing that was for me, like really having a kid being very emotional all the time was very challenging for me, because I've always grown up as a man, and I was somehow taught that emotions were bad. Like all my all whom I was fans of, all the masculine, you know, men you see on movies or in magazines, they're all very no emotions, just cut off and being very disassociated with vulnerability. For example, crying, that wasn't allowed. Like man up, you probably heard that. And also just like, are you being a pussy? And what does these things mean? Because when you're in the fucking shitter, if the only way you can handle emotion is by getting angry or mad, that anger and frustration, it might become the only way you know how to let out emotion. And that being way less constructive than actually letting yourself feel whatever you are feeling. And there's a wealth of emotions. So, like, just feeling frustrated, feeling angry can be a cover up for sadness. And if you're never taught how to be in touch with your emotions and letting them go whenever they come, you can do some breaths. You don't have to identify with the emotion. And there are many things to handle situation of emotion, situation of stressors. And definitely having a kid, being a parent, is sometimes fucking chaotic, and sometimes fucking stressful, and sometimes very in your face. It's a war zone at home sometimes. And I really enjoy the way through meditation and really allowing myself to feel whatever whatever I need to feel, I allow myself to feel it. If not in the moment, then I carry it on to whenever I have a moment to release it, to process it, to connect with it, because there might be something that I'm carrying around that I'm actually maybe not aware that I'm carrying around. So these little things are just like the biggest opportunity to have a look within, because they will they have definitely pushed my buttons, and every time I know that they're like a clean slate coming out, so it's whatever triggers I get got nothing to do with them, you know, like they're clean. So when they come out, I seriously, every time I'm triggered, I'm like, okay, so how can I expand in this situation? How can I grow from this experience? How can this emotion that I'm feeling whenever I'm triggered, how can I grow from this? Because if there's one thing I do not want is to hush my child, is to tell it that it's wrong in any way, or let my limitations limit my child. So let my insecurities of maybe my child wants to wear, I don't know, clothes that looks funny, and my insecurities maybe doesn't allow me to let him have that clothes on. So how will I handle that situation? And I think the biggest the biggest challenge is to say yes as much as fucking possible, and to show patience, and to learn techniques to handle our own emotions, so that our limitation is not affecting our kids. We're not here to raise kids. You raise cattle, you know? We're here to cultivate them, inspire them, show them things, look for things they're inspired about. And the more we show inspiration for stuff, the more they understand what inspiration is, and that might feed their curiosity. Um, yeah. So I guess that's my vlog number 2 around parenthood and around my thoughts on that. And I'm gonna link to some books and some talks and some stuff. And yeah, you can think about that, and think about your own inner child that is being reunited when you have kids. Yeah. Um, yeah. A lot of opportunities, and such a gift, such little teachers that are coming. Teachers for you and me, for me, definitely. Yeah. So I'm very grateful, very blessed. And look at this beautiful summer sky. It's maybe, can you see it? Yeah. It's amazing up here. Danish countryside. Love it. All right. Um, Again, message me, comment below if you want to hear anything, more thoughts. Maybe if you're interested in what books or what psychologists, motivational speakers, inspirational speakers, yeah, what I study, and how I come to these conclusions within myself, and also by reading books and utilizing the internet and thought. Maybe thought is the next subject. Thank you. Have a great evening.